In the previous lesson, we worked with VRAY for Blender, and we worked on an interior, setting up the basics of what an interior render could be. So we used natural light, portal lights, we used artificial lights, and of course you can continue to add like other effects, for example, the IES effects and the spotlights, etc. So go back in the lesson about lighting if you want to improve and make your render a little bit more outstanding. And I'm gonna go back here in the viewport. I'm gonna go out the camera, and this is now the perspective in the standard view in Blender. So you can either use cameras, you can use the view here, and then you can save point of views and cameras using stored views. And here we're gonna continue again with the render setting. So we talked about the sampler and how we can manage those parameters. Now we're gonna go in GI, which is global illumination, and I'm gonna render this so you can see it. So first of all, remember that when you will be in a camera, things will change, especially if it's a physical camera and if you're using the physical exposure, that will adjust the amount of lighting. And then also remember here in the view panel in the sidebar, we can use store view. So initialize and create a view just in the spot where you're at. Now, another thing I noticed from the previous render is that I had an issue with the render that I think it comes from a material here. So I converted the material into a VRAY material because this was a glass, and inside the glass there was a light. So when you have this situation, when the glass is part of the lamp, be careful. So first of all, you want to apply an emissive material to simulate the actual emissive bulb of the light. And then you want to add like a spherical light or an area light, cone light, a spotlight, whatever. And you can see this is a combination of emissive and spherical. So when you want to simulate illumination, like artificial illumination, you want to go in the device, you want to make sure that everything works fine, and use materials from VRAY. Don't use other type of materials. You can see here I created a VRAY light material, and for the glass I'm creating a glass. So also here you can see the actual object as that wire. That's the actual emissive part of the lamp. So if you want to use that, you can use it to be more specific, but you need to be really close to see this. So it depends on how far away. So it depends on the distance. If you're really close, you may want to show exactly where the emissive part of the light is. Otherwise, if you are pretty far, like in this case, I just use the bigger lamp. So to simulate the light, that will be fine. So you need to take care of all these details, especially in the lighting, because light influences the global lighting, the GI, the global illumination, and if something is wrong there, it's going to show. So here in the GI section, we can turn on and off, and we can modify the type of render that is used, the type of engine. So right now it's using light cache only in production, but you can also activate the use light cache for interactive rendering, so you can use it every time, also in the viewport, not only in the production render using the VRAY frame buffer. And here you can change also in brute force. So my guess is that it usually uses brute force, and brute force is like simpler to set because you just have this parameter here in the brute force, and if you read carefully, you just need to like increase the value here to increase the quality. So it's all about increasing, decreasing certain values if you want more quality, but of course that is gonna take longer to render. So this is basically the depth, so the accuracy in a way of the bouncing of the photons all around the scene. So global illumination is a combination of direct lighting and indirect lighting. Indirect comes from the bounce of the light in all directions, bouncing from materials, from surfaces, and taking also colors and materials. Now in the light cache, we have a little bit more parameters. You can save the light cache, you can adjust the threshold for the noise, you can change here the way you can render, so a single frame. And this has subdivisions. Again, if you increase the value of the subdivision, that's going to be a better render, but also longer render. And then you have also the dimension, in this case, the size of the sample. So if it's going to be smaller, it's going to be more accurate. So it's like the noise threshold in the sampler. So and every time you have these samples, they either, you know, we can also save here the file to be reused if you need to do the render again. So as I was saying, you have two types of parameters. Usually the subdivisions will increase the render quality, while the thresholds or the dimensions of the samples will increase also, but if you lower the value. But anyway, also we have caustics here, which is a more advanced effects if you want to simulate effects coming from the glasses and glass in general, but this will take longer to render, and it's, you know, suggested only when it's necessary, when you're really close to the object and you don't want to show off. So here I'm going to go back a little bit. So this was the use of the depth of field that we did in the previous lesson. So that's kind of extreme. And this is the denoiser. So I want to show you here that with the denoiser, I removed a lot of details. So you need to manage sometimes the denoiser to not to make it too strong. So you have different types of denoiser. You have default, you have mild, you have strong. But sometimes even if you do a mild denoiser, well, either the noise is still there and it's not a good quality, or it removes too many things of the scene, like, for example, the roughness of the reflection of the material, etc., etc. So that's one problem, and I want to show you how you can solve it. And also this one here is another problem. These are called fireflies, and they appear usually due to a problem with, again, a material like the glass material I was talking to you about before. And usually they come from emissive, or maybe lights that are not V-Ray but are just, you know, for Blender. So be careful on these little things that will, you know, interfere with your final render. So if I turn off the denoiser here, you see that we have a lot of noise. And we can try also to sharpen and blur. So if you do this, it will help you to blur a little bit the little dots, like the fireflies, the little white dots, and also a little bit of the general noise. And of course, again, if you exaggerate, that's going to remove too much. So it needs to be a balance of all these parameters. But the bottom line is, if you don't increase the quality of your render with the image sampler and the light cache or the brute force, you know, a render will turn out to be too noisy, and then the denoiser will remove too many things and make it flat and, you know, not too realistic. So kind of a cartoonish effect in a way. So be careful on all those effects. Now you can see the light there and the light bulb inside. So I've used the bigger bulb, not the wire inside, and it looks fine from this distance. And of course, it removed those fireflies when I changed the glass from those lights. And so here also I'm gonna manage a little bit the denoiser in order for it not to remove too many things from the image. So you need to play around a little bit with these parameters. But first of all, to increase the render quality a little bit. And also here, you can adjust the radius of the denoiser. So you can see it's working a little bit better. We do have some strange white dots in there, but we can try to remove them with the sharpen and blur, or also later with Photoshop or other graphic design application, photo editing application. Now also light mix was a really interesting and important effect, which can help you discover problems due to the lights. You can see here, if I only use these point lights, you can see there is more noise, because also another important thing is try not to leave areas without a direct lining. Try to put lights where they're needed, especially where there's the focus of your scene.